What's going on, traders? Welcome back to day 5 of 25 days of trading. I appreciate you coming back. If you're first time tuning in, make sure you go watch the other videos. We have 4 more already and plenty more to come all the way through Christmas morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another video. In this one, I'm kind of going to share some things I've never shared this year, I don't think, as well as a little sneak peek into my strategy. Of course, I go more in depth in it on my new Futures 2.0 course, which is only on ASFX TV. But I'm pretty much going to summarize my entire year of the strategy, how it's developed a little bit, what led me to making however much I did this year. A little bit of pocket watching going on in this video, I might say. But let's just jump right into it. We had a pretty good year. I would say a little disappointed in some of the figures, but kind of excites me to push even further and harder into 2025, expand the goals, game plan of how can I get to these goals with the stats that I have, how can I get them better, what trades do I want to try to cut out, what psychological things do I need to still improve on, what did I improve on, right? I'm still going to do a yearly summary from where I was a year ago to where I am today, as well as what I want to get to in this next coming year. So you can see, just first off, it's not what the video is about, but with the trades, 337 wins to 207 losses. So just a side note of being able to handle losses, I had to do it 207 times. So if you're not comfortable taking losses, then there's no way you're going to survive a full year, because that's 207 times. Now it wasn't 207 days, but regardless, you need to be able to handle losses, or else you're not going to be able to push through for a full year or even as a career. But the day win percentage, first time looking at, is very, very impressive to me. Of only 31 red days all year, I think there's a month missing of data where I just didn't trade too much in May, heading into the summer. But 31 red days to 104, I will take that any day of the week or every year, I should say. Because 31, that's about two a month, two and a half, right? Not too bad at all. That's really what I'm focused on. That I know I might take 200 losses. If I could try to scalp back a green win right after and the day break even, we'll take that. But just overall, let's go over some of these trades here. This one going all the way back to March, right? So I want to explain my strategy. Like I said, if you haven't seen my strategy or any of my trades, definitely go to ASFX TV. You can see the Futures 2.0 on the top is my advanced course, building off of Austin's Futures 101 here, where this one's the free version. If you're not a member, you could still watch this course. But to get access to the 2.0, you need to be a member of ASFX TV, where you can also watch my live streams where I incorporate these trades every single day live through the New York Open. Make sure you sign up for that. You can even start a free trial if you're not sure. If you're watching this in December of 2024, we are going to run a sale for 25% off, right? We ran the Black Friday deal, but now we're running the Christmas sale. But going back to this one, March surprised me. Going back to find this markup of, you see the A2 indicators on there. You can see, I think it is on ES. It is on the futures. I was going to say, is this even on the futures? It might be the CFD side of things. You can see the execution arrows that I took it on a CFD. I didn't take it on CFD. I took it on Trading View. But you got to still break of a high day view up, retest it, buyers defend it. Let's go continue trend higher, right? And this one's at 728. I'm trading pre-market back in March, which I definitely did not do later on in the year, but the structure still applies the same. The break of a VWAP is still the same. This one now going same thing in March. We get a pop here at the 8:30 news, so I'm trading at 9:34, 4 minutes into the open. You can see there's no opening range, but there is still a news VWAP and a hive day VWAP. I'm getting it on the break of that after retesting the changeover of day VWAP, right? This black one's now the changeover of day rather than the New York. I'm not looking at the regular trading hours yet, but same thing. I'm identifying bullish structure, a retest of a key VWAP, and a break of high day saying buyers are back in. And you could even see the executions, because again, this is on trade of 8 on TradingView. Let's go to April now. Strong new high day. I'm not buying this dip. I want to see buyers fully step back in. So a retest of yesterday's high, again off the daily VWAP. Buyers stepping on the break of high day VWAP here in purple. We go make a new high. So just still applying the same trend, same structure, same entry identification of getting in on a break of a high day VWAP. The only thing that looks a little bit different is this isn't the 9:30 VWAP. This is from the previous day's changeover of day. And then this one to the downside. Now we're still in April. Lower highs and lower lows. We wait for the pullback. Sellers step in on the break of lower day. Let's go make a new leg lower, right? Like I said, all of this is explained in the Futures 2.0 course on the VWAP breaks. Now we're going to have some bounces in this review, of course, but most of the time I'm waiting for a VWAP break. And also how I'm taking profits. How do I trade with the all-time high VWAP? Because I think one of them in here, we showed that. but just riding the trend, getting my next sell signal, not chasing this move lower, and immediately taking a pullback. I want to see the pullback happen, see when sellers are ready to step us back in and push another leg lower, which they do here. And you could have even sold it up higher earlier. And then this one, this one was funny. Just because the dotted lines, those are my 15-minute opening range low and high. I was just manually inputting them because I don't think I fully was with Edgeful yet in June, where I had the indicator on, but I'm just drawing it myself. Still no regular trading hours. You can still see the pre-market, see the daily view up. I'm drawing the New York view up here in blue. That this is still, if you can faintly see those opening range high levels, not and the note says not taking the first break above the daily, aka the New York. I preach that all throughout the course. I still preach that on my streams. That I'm not jumping it up here. I'm waiting for the pullback. Buyers defend the VWAP and the open range high. Let's go make another move higher. So it's really been, I'd say, evolving. It's really not been changing too much. Maybe I now look at the regular trading hours and not the daily. I'm using just the New York, but the 15-minute open range is still valid. The break of a high day view up is still valid. My structural retester is still valid. So nothing too much has changed. If anything, maybe slimmed it back down just to simplify it. This is the same thing down here. Now the 15-minute open range is set. We get a break. Here's our first pullback. This is the second best place for longs. You can even put on a high day view up there. You'll see that one rip higher. You can put on another high day view up here. Pulls back. Buyer step in. Makes another all-time high. This is again in April or May. We're in May. Now let's look at a July. Was that June maybe? That was June. So now let's go to July. Now we get a clean move down. Pull back. Sellers step back in on the lower day view up. Simple. Go back lower. Right, just riding the trend, 8.5-point stops, go get 18. Sellers are in the entire time, clear trend the entire time. Just keeping it simple. This one now, we're in July. Now we're definitely using Edgeful. Now we have the regular trading hours. We had the 15-minute open range high and low set. We're even playing the double break stats sometimes. But this one has a nice retest of opening range low earlier. Moves lower. We get our first pullback. Sellers step in on the break of lower day. Boom, another move down strong with NVIDIA down 6% on that given day. But still, clean identifiable trend lower with lower highs and lower lows, all below the New York, below the open range low. At this time, I'm sure the initial bounce is somewhere along here, that it's also off that level, but just keeping it simple. This one, we're in the 15-minute open range. Here's our initial bounce. Here's also our gap fill indicator of we're super choppy, no clear, strong trend yet. New low a day saying sellers are maybe stepping in. We retest the initial bounce low and the open range low. And this indicator I have on down here is our gap fill, which on this given day, I don't know the percentage, but I had a high probability of wanting to go fill that gap. So I like the shorts for that reason as well. But I'm still timing it with the retest of a key level, break of a lower day view up. Let's go fill that gap. And then maybe there was orders down there too, because we also started incorporating Bookmap probably around this time in July and August. I just don't have it screenshotted on here because it's not part of the chart. But I think a main part of the success this year was really just finding my niche of what is my best setup. How do I really want to trade it the best? Of what VWAP is the more important to me? What key level? How do I want to identify trend the best way? Do I need all these indicators? Do I look at all the time frames? And then by the end of it, you can see I got rid of the pre-market noise. I'm just seeing the 930 price action. I really just keep the 15-minute open range high and low on. I see a high day break or a low day VWAP break, and then simply just trading one asset. This probably wasn't this year. But I mean, I still dabble with NQ maybe once every 30 trades, 50 trades. But for the most part, I'm just an ES trader. Then maybe the years prior, I was stretching myself a little thin, looking at other assets, taking different types of trades, although consistent if you bunched them all together, that I took 5 like this, 5 like that, and 5 like that. They're all different, but I'm taking them more than once. But for the most part now, all my trades look very, very similar for a reason, because it's in my plan, and I know that's what I do best. And now I'm really just trying to focus on the losers of what am I trying to avoid? How can I maybe not get induced into the chop up here earlier and be patient for this trending move later, right? Maybe there's even other markups of it where there's a big move down, not getting FOMO, not just jumping on a short or trying to call the bottom, say, no, we must come back higher, waiting for my next short opportunity. Even up here with the pre-market, this is at 934. So now if I went back into it and just pretended it was like my regular trading hours, here's our open. Our 50-minute range high is probably way up here because of the strong open. Well, it looks like above my head here, there's a retest of that open range high. I would probably long that. So it's interesting just how the trades have different perspectives depending on what part of the year I was trading it. But overall, I'm very pleased with how I progressed this year, taking multiple payouts almost every month. Had a really, really strong summer of August 6K, July 14K, June 12K, 12.3. That'll really, really take that. I was super proud of that. 2 red days in June, 3 in July, and then 5 in August. A little bit more realistic of what to expect. But overall, we still have a month left, so maybe I can get this to 70K, 75K. That'd obviously be great. I'd like to take one more payout this year and then really look to hammer it in 2025 with different firms, bigger size, same trades, just a higher risk profile because I think it's why play around and why take this slower approach. Not going to be aggressive or gamble or get outside my comfort zone. But at the end of the day, I should try to scale up a little bit. If I want to progress as a trader, I have my niche, I have my strategy. Let's try to get the ball rolling a little bit, just with a little bit heavier of size until I find my sweet spot. What's too much? Get comfortable around here, and then just trade our best for the long term. This is also the last thing I'll say, the power of keeping that long term in focus, right? Last January, I can't really guess where I'm going to be the next January. That I just have to put my head down, trade each and every week, every month, keep the long term focus of wanting to learn, wanting to cut out my losses, wanting to maximize my wins, of course, but all the noise in between, all the slow days, all the red days, all the big green days, all the over traded days, the emotional days, right? You got to survive those. And then on the other side, you look back and you're like, holy shit, I had 200 trades that lost. Like, whoa. But you zoom out in the grand scheme of things across 547 trades, I still won more than not that I'm okay. But in the moment, taking those 207 trades individually, it could feel like a lot, feel like you don't know what you're doing. Why did I do that? But zoom it out. I mean, even looking at the equity curve here, it's never just perfectly up. You're going to take dips. You got to survive the dips and have that long term focus. I mean, looking back here, I made a video about it in, what was that, March? With a big dip down pretty much back to zero, right? Where my equity curve was doing pretty good and then boom, wiped it all away with stupid day of trading. Oh my God, the year's over. I just wasted so much time. Keep showing up. Show up for a full year. Give something a full year and you'll be surprised at what you can do from it. Well, yeah, 65K or 64. Hopefully we get that to 70, 75 by the end of the year. That'd be great. If not, no biggie. We'll go into next year, 2025, hammering it, trying to definitely get that to six figures, and we will get that to six figures. Take a payout every month, if not multiple payouts every month across different accounts and firms. But yeah, that's my strategy, how it's developed throughout the whole entire year, really. You saw markups looking very similar every single month, but also a little bit different every month. But at the foundation, it was the same ideology and the same thesis that I was trying to go trade. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like I said, make sure to tune in tomorrow for day 6, 11 a.m. Eastern, every day, all the way until Christmas. We'll be dropping a new video, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss one. But other than that, I'll see you on the desk tomorrow morning.